hello, this is Bridget Brown with Divine Essentials. Alright guys, so I know the next thing I'm supposed to do by the order of the thing is a activation and a meditation, but I'm not in the right environment for that right now, and we don't have many days until the 7th, 7/7. I don't know if I'm going to make it on the 7/7/7. It'll probably be 7/2/7. We'll just be realistic about it because there's like 20 things to do and many other things for me to do. So anyways, I've seen 27 many times today, like I do all the time. I do believe that that's for a reason that I have yet to freaking figure out, because usually what they do is they repeat messages until you get it. So when you're like 555, I've been seeing 555, then you get it, and you may not be aware of the getting of it. You know, you may not connect the dot to the 555, but once you get it, they're like, all right, 111, like something else, 888, or 777, whatever it is. But 27 has been haunting me. I do feel like it could possibly be for the year 2027. I don't know exactly what's going to go down, but I have a feeling it could be big stuff. Anyways, this one is going to be the next one where it's like, obviously, I'm talking to you. And it's about getting out of the way. Like, get the fuck out of the way. Because when you channel and you do spiritual work, you need to get out of the way. Why are you barking, buddy? What you doing? You need to get yourself out of the way so spirit can communicate through you. And you need to stop doubting. You need to stop, like, second guessing yourself. You need to stop biting your tongue. You need to stop doing all the things that people do when, you know, they're human and they have some human beliefs, and they have some fears, and they have some doubts, and they have some questions, and all those things. But I've been talking to people today about this, even just in general with your own life. Sometimes we feel like, oh, this thing happened and it fucked up everything, and because of it, you know, it's our excuse. It's our reason for stopping ourselves. It's our reason for staying where we are, because we're in our comfort zone. And again, we need to get the fuck out of the way so that we can succeed. We need to get out of the way of our own selves in many ways, in many layers. You know, my 7-Eleven is getting the thing out of the pool. She's swimming. Her tail spins when she swims. She's very cute. Anyways, distraction. This is why I usually do things at night, because they go to sleep. But getting out of the way is in a lot of senses of, like, when you want to channel, you literally get out of the way if you're going to be channeling, because you need to be like, all right, like, I'm giving you the space to come on in with your messages, and I'm giving you the space to come on in with your energy and your essence and your frequency and all that encompasses that, because that's going to benefit me, and that's going to benefit everybody that I connect to while I'm doing that, because I'm going to deliver the messages that they need to hear. And I'm not even needing to do anything except for get out of the way. Just get out of the way and take all the responsibility off of your shoulders, you know, and know, like, you're responsible for making a safe space, for setting firm boundaries, and then getting out of the way and trusting that spirit and yourself are protected and you're guided, and there's messages for you to deliver. And if there isn't, then nothing will come through. If there's some reason, some block, something that's not working for you, it would be a reason for it to not come through, or it'd be a reason for it to just, like, not even happen. So that's another thing. Like, people have come to me and they get out of the way of receiving because something's going on in their life that they're not ready to receive it. Like, I've had people come and they're like, I want to do all the rites, and they get one rite and they disappear. And then I've had people come and they get rites and they get like 2 or 3 of them. Sadie, come on. God, go away from him barking to come to you barking. Anyways, again, why I don't do this during the day. Some people come get 2 rites. Some people come and they, you know, only get those rites. Some people come and they get 2 rites, disappear for a little while, come back, get the rest of the rites. Some people go get the rites, and then when they gift the rites to other people, they only gift like the first 4 rites, like the first foundation rites, and they're like, that's enough, that's good. I don't need to do anymore. I don't want, whatever. There's always reasons behind these things. Like sometimes we get out of the way because we want spirit to come through us, and that's a conscious thing. You should be creating sacred space. You should be calling on the highest vibrations. You shouldn't just be like, I'm getting out of the way for any old thing to come on in, because common sense, like that's why we do the vortex, that's why we do all this stuff, guys, is like to protect ourselves from things that are out there. Because if you believe in the light and you believe in the angels, and you should be aware of the duality in this world, it's pretty strong. There's going to be the dark, and there's going to be the not so good things out there. And they could be called entities, it could be called demons, it could be called whatever. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's an energy, it's a frequency, and it will mess with you if you're like willy-nilly about things. When you are strong and powerful in your mind, and strong and powerful in your intention, and you make a decision, the whole universe conspires with you in your favor to make those decisions come to be. But the problem is a lot of people get in the way of what they want to be by thinking negative thoughts, by thinking, oh, I'm not worthy, by thinking all of these things that they start thinking. And I do it too. We all have done it. And then sometimes we invite people on in that we should have been like, no, you get out of my way. And instead we let them slow us down, or detour us, or make us a victim. But even in the sense of becoming a victim, we are the one doing it, because we're allowing it, and we're creating the space where this is like acceptable behavior of people. And until we decide, no, I'm going to remove this, this is not for me, because it's slowing my roll, it's keeping me stuck, it's making me sad, it's making me mad, it's making me feel inadequate, it's making me feel guilty, whatever it is, because there's manipulators out there who will do that to you to keep you stuck. Even people in your own family will do that to you to keep you stuck, because they're stuck. And they don't want to do what you're doing. They're not ready to do what you're doing. They're not getting out of their own way yet. In another sense, I had been talking to someone today about the loss of family members. And like when we lose a family member, when we lose a dad or a mom, it's sad, right? It's like, oh my God, it doesn't even matter if they weren't necessarily the best one on the planet. It was still your mom. It was still your dad. So you still care about them, even if they didn't do the best job raising you or loving you or making you feel accepted and loved and all those things. It doesn't matter. In my case, it didn't matter. You know what I mean? When my mother died, I was sad. I was like, oh. And even when she was alive, I was always trying very hard to win her love, to win her affection, to win like the good job, the pat on the back, because it was like very hard to get those things out of her. And in the end, she did apologize. And in the end, it was like, I said something to somebody today. I said, I know this may sound like a really messed up way to look at the death of a mom or dad or whatever, but she got out of my way when she died, in the sense that I was then able to become successful. I was then able to go to work and just be working, and not be driving to the hospital every day, not be sitting at the hospital every day for 8+ hours, not be running around ragged to go do things that like other people couldn't or wouldn't do. And it's like, okay, this was a difficult time. Obviously going to the top of the ladder was a little messed up at that point. You can't get there when the rungs are all like buttered up, and it's like, oh, I got 2 steps ahead, 3 steps back, because she's back in the hospital, or because something happened, or because whatever. And for some reason, a lot of us end up getting ourselves put into positions where we are the caregiver of other people. But we need to be caregiver of us, and look at these opportunities as like, when things are getting out of the way, just try to shift the script of like, don't feel guilty about it, don't feel bad about it. You can feel sad and grieve and mourn and all of those things, but just know that like, there is a reason for everything that happens when it happens. And instead of like letting it continue to hold you, like if you had a toxic situation with your parents and they were like always, belittling you and making you feel stuck and making you feel less than and all of those things, when they pass away, they're getting out of your way. So now you can soar, now you can go, now you can rise. And sometimes people, I feel, in our community may lose their parents younger than other people, because it gives them that opportunity now that there's no negativity, there's none of that shit going on. And you don't have to wait for your parents to pass away for you to get out of the way, and to get out of the way of whatever it is that they're projecting onto you, or they're creating around you, or they're believing around you, or they're feeling around you, because it will impact you. You can live with people and not be impacted by them. But it's hard. But if you want to get to where you need to go, you're going to have to be stronger than whatever is present around you. And when you do that and you shift your thoughts and your focus and your energy and you're manifesting from the place of, I deserve this and I can do this and I've done it before and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to grow. I'm going to evolve. I'm going to get out of my own way and I'm going to succeed. You will see things start to change. And again, all of this stuff, I feel like the reason I'm doing this one right now is because we just had, one of the big planets go, Neptune, into retrograde. And Neptune is the spiritual planet. It's the one of illusions. It's the one of like, a lot of us are living in illusion all the time. Everything here is an illusion, basically. Time is an illusion. Space is an illusion. Like, all of it is just bendable. It's pliable. It's malleable. It's like, ooh, wow, I can move things around. I can shift things so fast. I keep proving it to myself. And I know sometimes I think the reason why I go through what I go through in such a public way is so that other people can see it and be like, all right, it's doable. I can do it. If that person can do it, they can do that. Why can't I do that? Think of it in those terms. I've always thought of things in that term. Whenever I saw somebody do something or I wanted to try something, it's like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it good and I'm going to do it great and I'm going to do it in the best way possible. And there's nobody else out in this world that we should ever be like, oh, they came extra equipped for life. They came extra equipped for succeeding at something. No, we all came equipped with the same bullshit. We may not have had the same conditions around us, but how we react to those conditions will determine where we go from those conditions. A lot of successful people, a lot of people who become something great went through tragedy, went through difficulty, went through the fucking bullshit here that makes life hard. But it makes it even better when you do overcome the things that made it hard, or the people who manipulated you, or the people who lied to you, or you lying to you. So when I say get out of the way, I mean it in many ways. And again, this is why under our spiritual dictionary, you're not going to just find like a boop, 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 like a little oh, step out of the way. It's like step out of the way of yourselves, step out of the way of spirit, step out of the way of your family, step out of the way of whatever is blocking you or keeping you in the illusions here of I'm too old or I'm not enough or I don't know or I'm not them, they know more, who gives a shit. All of the information that you could ever need to know that someone else knows is also available to you. Maybe you're going to have to go about getting it in a different way because maybe they had money that they could afford to go sit in a class and have it presented to them in the right way, in the right time, all that stuff, but whatever, right? Doesn't matter. You could sit your ass down and go collect it all for free and go to the libraries and go to Google and be like boop 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 and get the same education. And most of the successful people out there are not even college or people. They're not even high school graduates many times because that is indoctrination into belief systems that are very limiting. I just saw a thing yesterday that was like, they started asking kids instead of what do you want to be when you grow up, because that stresses them out because they don't know. They don't know what they want to be. They're kids. How the hell do they know? And then you're going to shit on their ones when they're like, I want to be an astronaut. Like, oh no, Johnny, that's too much. You know what I mean? So they started asking them, what have they done that they're proud of? And one kid had done built a birdhouse, but he had never considered being a carpenter. And another kid had helped a friend when they were sad, and so they were like, we don't know if she should be a comedian or a counselor, but that person was proud of it, and it impacted the kids in such a strong way that within a very short amount of time, the depression energy, the sadness, the heaviness, the anxiety that they were all exhibiting went away. And look into the foundation of our school systems. Look into why it was created. Who created it? Oh, the same people that created the medical system that's, taken everything natural and not approved it by the FDA. So people like me will get in trouble for selling you my migraine magic on Etsy. But I can sell you Pleiadian passion that helps you connect to the Pleiadians. This world is ass backwards. You can fix a headache with essential oils. You can fix a lot of things with essential oils. I've done it. I've healed myself all naturally. haven't taken any medicines from any doctor. I got one round of antibiotics when I finally found out that I had Lyme, and that didn't do anything because I went down hard after that. And what I ended up doing was working with frequency and healing and mindset and food and everything like that. And you can stay in your own way there too, because I know we all know this, and the FDA has approved meat that is grown. We're growing our own meat now, and you know what the base of it is? Cancer cells. Because cancer cells keep growing. They never die. If you put them in a petri dish and the person dies, they're still going to grow. They have some right now from like 1940 or whatever. It's still growing. So they use that because they want it to grow fast. They want the meat that you're going to eat to grow fast. So they're using precancerous and cancerous cells for that. There's another part of the thing that there was a part 2 that I could go watch about that, but I didn't even want to know because that's enough, and I already knew beforehand that anything Gates has stamped his little thing on, I don't want. And yeah, people, they've passed that. And I feel like there's going to be attempts to take away anything naturally. Like, if you can get seeds, get seeds. If you have a place to grow stuff, grow stuff. If you have things canned, save them. Don't be tossing out stuff right now. Don't be, crazy. There is, like, some weird shit going on with stuff. And I feel like it's all to just push people into compliance. And they do it slowly, and they do it in a way that people don't notice. They don't pay attention. They did all that crap with the FDA and the approval of this meat shit during all the Titanic stuff. And do you know who was in the Titan? 2 different people who are searching for extraterrestrial life. Like, they're billionaire people. Seti is Dr. Stephen Greer. It was something to do with his stuff. Dr. Stephen Greer wasn't in there, but somebody that he has associated with him for SETI, the search of extraterrestrial life, has died, supposedly. And then the guy, the manufacturer of that Oklahoma train situation, he was the manufacturer of the chemicals that spilled. He was in there. And somebody else. And it's like, there's always this weird stuff around these things that they distract us with. And there's all these other things going on at the same time that people don't notice. So you got to start paying attention. When everybody's looking over here, look over there, and again, get out of the way of that stuff, because it will railroad you. It will take you in. My dad just told me, like, my brother has 2 little kids right now, and they took away the phone and they took away the TV from them, because when they get on there, they go into a trance. And the little one is so bad now that if it just sees a phone, it freaks out, like, give me the phone, I need the phone, oh my god, give me the phone, because it's addicted. There's this thing that the CIA has admitted to, that has put it out there, okay? You can go, it's free domain, you can go read about the things that they have done, but MK Ultra is what is used for mind control through television, through the waves of the television. That's why I get upset at my dad for even having the TV plugged in. He's always like, let's have a movie night. I'm like, no, you're not sucking me in there. Like, I'll do it, fine, I'll watch it, but I'll watch it with the awareness of what they try to do with their storylines and their fears and their pre-agendas coming through. It's like anything that you've seen lately, or any time, even, okay, perfect example, the Titanic. Somebody wrote a book about Titanic. They called it the Titan 100 years before the thing sunk. It was almost the exact dimensions, the same situation with, like, overlooking all the crap, not having enough safety boats, first class, slow class, all that stuff, everything to the T. And then 100 years later, they sink it in the same manner, speeding at the highest knots through iceberg. Oh, boom, same story. But it was written about before it actually happened. And then we have the same type of essence of bullshit going on with Titan, where the guy overlooked all the stuff, and he's like, oh, sure, we don't have to worry about fucking pressure going down. That's dumb. And then put your 19-year-old boy in there with you. Good job. Like, that's why I feel like there's bigger things at play. Like, somebody may have, like, messed with them, or it's like there's an agenda. When you have enough money, you can make anything be the reality that people believe. And when you have enough power over the things of, like, the media and the food and the government and the school, and you indoctrinate a nation, they just accept it. They just do it. They just go along with it. But we need to stop doing that, and we need to step out of the way of the agendas. We need to step out of the way of the frequencies. We need to step out of the way of spirit, so spirit can come through us and remind us and remember us, like teach us and remind us of what needs to happen, what doesn't need to happen, when we should be doing, when we shouldn't be doing, and all of those things. But that's basically what I mean with that, is getting out of the way in all of those senses is something you're going to have to do. And then take notes a lot. So like a lot of times I don't even take notes as much anymore, but back in the beginning I have notes and notes and notes and notes and notes. Because when you take note of something, you're helping it to stick in your brain. Maybe you're not someone like me. Maybe you need to say it. Maybe you need to read it. Maybe you need to watch it. It doesn't matter. Figure out the way that works for you. My taking notes, I'm gonna kill these dogs today. My taking notes consists of like, basically now I will screen record something that I just said, or I will, collect some information together, or I will do a reading and then listen to the reading, or I'll just do something that I play back or look at again or remind myself about. I have little post-it notes on places. I've got my circle in the bathroom. Like, you've got to keep reminding yourself, but also your subconscious, because otherwise you're going to block yourself. You're going to get in your own way again. You're going to let people get in your way. You're going to let experiences get in your way, fears get in your way, doubts get in your way. And that's no, we got to get out of the way, and we got to let spirit come through us, talk to us, through us, in any of the ways that they want to. Sometimes it's through art. Sometimes it's through, just like what you say to a friend. Like today I said something to a family member, and it was a message that everybody needed to hear, I think, even myself. And I know a lot of the people who come to me have a similar frequency. They have a similar belief system. They have a reason why they're showing up. And we may not know the reason in the moment, but there's always a reason. And so trust that. Get out of the way of the doubts, of the fears, of the I don't knows, and live your best life. But try to look at things too, as in like things are getting out of my way. When something bad happens, usually there's a good thing within it that we don't see in that moment. When something is removed from our life, there's usually a reason for it, and it may hurt, and it may be sad, and it may be frustrating, and all of those things. But however long you choose to stay there being upset and sad and mad and all of those things is on you to decide. You can process, you can heal. It's good to grieve, it's good to be angry sometimes, but not when it carries on to a point where it's like there's just years and years going by, or it's just getting worse. That's when we need to get out of the way of that shit. Okay, guys? So hopefully this will assist you, and I will be doing the activations, but like I said, I'm just going to go with the flow of getting these things out there. It doesn't have to be in chronological order, which my little OCD self is like, ooh, but we're going to do it. In Munay, namaste.